Okay, now that you know how to put this in your calculator, now we should be able to find the measure of an angle if we know two sides. Okay, so we already know that if we have two sides of a right triangle, we could use Pythagorean theorem to find the third side, but we can use the trig functions if we know two sides to find the missing angle. Okay, so just like all the other problems that we've done this week, the first thing that you have to do is figure out if we're going to use sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay, so here's our angle theta. Okay, 28, this is the hypotenuse. Okay, 10 is right here next to theta, so that's the adjacent leg. Okay, so we're going to our SOHCAHTOA to figure out if we should use sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay, so we have the hypotenuse and the adjacent side, so adjacent and hypotenuse, that's going to be cosine. Okay, but this time we don't know what the angle is, so we're going to write cosine of theta equals, and then it's adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's going to be 10 over 28. Okay, now when we did this on the previous part, like back here, we had a decimal to plug in. Okay, you can plug in a fraction the same way. Okay, so we want to know what angle has a cosine of 10 over 28. Anytime you're trying to find the angle, you're going to use the inverse cosine, the cosine -1. Okay, on the previous page, this was the decimal, so we just typed in the decimal. Now I have a fraction, so I'm just going to do 10 divided by 28 and type it in like this, and that will tell me what my angle is. Okay, so second cosine, get the cosine -1. Okay, 10, just hit divided by 28 and hit enter, and we round to the nearest degree. Okay, so in this case, this angle is 69 degrees. Okay, if you need to hit pause to look at it or back up, that's fine. I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, for this one over here, we're trying to find this angle over here on the side. Okay, so here's our angle. The hypotenuse, we don't know what that is. Okay, so we're going to use the two sides we have. This one over here is opposite the angle, and this one up here is adjacent to the angle. Okay, opposite and adjacent, I'm going to use tangent. Okay, so the tangent of some angle, we don't know what the angle is, so we write theta. That's our variable. Okay, we talked about that earlier in the week. Anytime we have an unknown angle, we call it theta. We use Greek letters for those. Okay, so the tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, so opposite over adjacent, that's going to be 19, the opposite leg, over the adjacent leg, which is 23. Okay, we're trying to find the angle, so we have to use the second button to get inverse tangent, or tangent with a -1. And so we're trying to find the angle whose tangent equals 19 over 23. So I'm just going to type in second tangent, 19 divided by 23, and hit enter, and round it to the nearest whole number. Okay, so 39.55, that rounds up to 40. So we'll give our answer as 40 degrees. Okay, let me give you, we'll do two more here together. And you should be writing these in your notes. Okay, so for this one, here's our angle theta. Okay, 4 is the hypotenuse. And 3 is this the same problem? It is not. Okay, and 3 is across from theta, so 3 is the opposite side. Okay, again, we go to SOHCAHTOA. And we have opposite and hypotenuse, so we're going to be using the sine. So the sine of some angle theta that we're trying to figure out is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, 3 over 4. Opposite over hypotenuse. Make sure you get those in the right order. Okay, we're trying to find the angle, so we do inverse sine of 3/4. Okay, so I hit second sine 3 divided by 4. I hit enter. I round to the nearest whole number, 48.59. That rounds up to 49 degrees. Okay, last one over here. Here's theta. Okay, 3 is the hypotenuse. And 2 is right here next to theta, so that's the adjacent leg. So if we have adjacent and hypotenuse, that'll be cosine. the cosine of some angle theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, 2 over 3. Okay, we try to find the angle, so we do inverse cosine of 2/3. So second cosine 2 divided by 3. And we get 48.18. That's closest to 48 degrees, and that's our answer. Okay, you have more problems to do on the Google form. Okay, we are going to skip over the word problems. We will do those in class on Friday. Okay, so you finish the Google form, and after you finish the Google form, you need to do these 5 problems, the first 5 problems from the worksheet. Okay, tomorrow when I get back, I'm going to be checking 2 things. Well, first of all, I'm checking the Google form tonight, so make sure you do that immediately. Okay, and then I'm checking yesterday's homework. Remember 6.2b, you only had to do problems 1 and 2. And then I'm going to check these 5 problems for tonight. So you get 2 written homework assignments plus the Google form.